on in Bojo Kanawea, Mr. McLeod Mondiamina, Bajinaka Queen Ween Monim. I just want to let you guys know that links to the dictionary, PDFs to the worksheet, audio files are in links in the description of this video, as well as any other resources that'll help you out with this lesson will eventually be there as soon as I'm done making them. Aho, miigwech. On in Bojo, Mr. McLeod, Mondaya. And so today's lesson is on tense and question particles. So we're expressing time and asking yes-no questions today. So we're eliciting questions in Nishnaabemwin. So in Nishnaabemwin, we use question particles that prompt a yes-no response from our audience. These question particles are na and na, the latter meaning like a Canadian A. You're looking for confirmation on your question. So these question particles are best suited for second position. Think of them as the second word in your questions. So here I've indicated the points for you to write down in your notes. Please pause the video here and record these in your notes. All right, let's move on. So let's try it out. So how would we translate the young man is falling? A few lessons, we learned how to say young man, and we learned how to say she or he is falling. So the word for young man is shkinwe. Next is our question particle, na. And our verb for he or she is falling is mgishin. So we can translate either shkinwe na mgishin or reverse the order. Mgishin na shkinwe. And so here we have both examples. And so that's how we ask questions, yes-no questions in Ojibwe. So notice how we use na in second position or second word. So this type of question triggers a yes-no answer from our audience, hence why we call it yes-no questions. So tense. So tense is how we incorporate time into our speaking. In Nishnaabemwin, we have 5 different tenses: past, present, indefinite future, definite future, and modal. Tenses take the form of prefixes that attach to our verbs and are the same amongst all our verb types, whether they're VII, VAI, VTI, or VTA. So here I've indicated the points important for your notes. Please pause the video here and write these down before moving on. All right, let's move on. All right, so prefixes is something you add to the front of a word. In Ojibwe, we're adding these to the front of our verbs. So to better understand tense, we'll associate our temporal adverbs with our tense markers. So words like jinaga is a temporal adverb. It means yesterday. And we know whatever happened yesterday is in the past. So your verb would need a past tense prefix. So think, when do these words like yesterday or tomorrow take place in the past, present, or future, and use that to answer or select your tense markers that go with your verbs. And so here I've indicated the points important for your notes. Please pause the video here and write these down before moving on. All right, let's move on. So words that elicit tense. So you know what this sign means. Write down everything on the slide, please. So our temporal adverb for yesterday is jinaga. It requires a past tense prefix with the verb. Dbikung is our temporal adverb for yesterday. It also requires a past tense marker with your verb. Wiba means earlier, and it requires a past tense marker with your verb. Wiba can also mean soon, and if your verb has a future tense marker, that's when wiba means soon. If your verb has a past tense marker, wiba means earlier. So our next word is p, which means later, and the verb will require a future tense prefix when using p. Nanage is another word for later. Same rules apply to nanage as p. The next word is bung, and because it means tomorrow, we're talking about something in the future, so your verb will require a future tense prefix. This one here is waswabung, which means 2 days from now, and will require your verb to have a future tense marker. And this one here is nongum, which means today or now, and this will require your verb remaining in present tense. So we'll pause here we'll stop here to let you guys pause the video and record these in your notes. All right, let's move on. So tense. So past tense is expressed through the prefix gi, Gii dash. So if we're translating the dog was sleeping, we know the word for dog is nimush, and the word for he or she is sleeping is nba. So we need to attach gi to our verb nba. So altogether, that's nimush ginba, or we can reverse the order and go ginba animush, which is our answer right here. Present tense is already built into all of our verbs, meaning our verbs are already automatically in present tense, so we don't need to add anything. So here I've indicated the points for you to write down in your notes. Please pause the video here and record these in your notes before moving on. All right, let's move on. So indefinite future is expressed through the prefix we, wii dash, and it kind of means something could happen in the future, but you're not 100% certain. It more so means like wanting to. She or he wants to do whatever the verb is. So the baby wants to lie down. So we know the word for baby is bibis. Wants to is our indefinite future tense marker, we. And the word for lying down is pmakshin. So putting that all together, it's either bibis wipmakshin or wipmakshin a bibis. So those are both of our answers right there on the screen. Please record these in your notes before moving on. All right, let's move on. So extra tenses. So definite future tense is something 100% will happen in the future and is expressed through the prefixes da, da dash, or ga, ga So either can be used for VII words, but for VAI words, da dash is only used for third person phrases, whether they're singular or plural. Ga dash is associated with other pronouns. So if you are using definite future tense for the worksheet for this week, restrict it to only using da dash, da. So the boy will fall. So we know the word for boy is gweozans. Our way to say will is da, and the word for falling is mgishin. So our translation will either be gweozans dumgishin or dumgishin a gweozans. And so we have both options here on the screen. So I've indicated the points for you to write down in your notes Please record these before moving on. All right, let's move on. So modal tense is expressed through the prefix da, D-A-A dash, and it means should, could, or would, depending on context. So the girl should understand. We know the word for girl is connaissance. We know to translate should is da, and our word for she or he understands is incitum. So connaissance da incitum or da incitum acquiescence. So we have both options here. So present tense is already being covered in previous lessons, so you're off the hook for that one. All right, so please record these in your notes before moving on. Give you a chance to pause here. All right, let's move on. All right, so in summary, we can elicit yes/no questions by using na or na in second position. Tenses are used as prefixes that attach to the front of our VAI words. Past tense is our prefix gi. Present tense is already built into the verb. Indefinite future tense is with we. Definite future is either da or ga. For this for this lesson, it's da. Modal tense, should, could, or would, is expressed through the prefix da. Mia aja. That's it for now. Miigwech bsinduig. Thank you all for listening to me.